bizarrely, once again, he praised Russia's strongman, Vladimir Putin, even taking the astonishing step of suggesting that he prefers the Russian president to our American president. Now, that is not just unpatriotic and insulting to the people of our country, as well as to our commander-in-chief. It is scary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. That was Hillary yesterday. No cough. That whole 30-second statement, not one cough. We are joined right now, I'm proud to say, by Garry Kasparov, chairman of the Human Rights Foundation, author of Winter is Coming, Why Vladimir Putin and the Enemies of the Free World Must Be Stopped. He's also Russia pro-democracy leader and, of course, former world chess champion. We just had a quick game during the commercial break. All right, great to see you, sir.
Yes,
thanks for coming. All right, first of all, I mean, Hillary's a little inaccurate. Donald didn't say, I prefer Putin over Obama. He was talking about, as a leader, he said, I disagree with the system of government there, but as a leader within that system, you have problems with what Donald Trump is saying, correct?
A lot of problems,
why?
Yes.
Why?
Now, first of all, he says, I don't like the system. It's not enough. It's not about liking or not. You may not like parliamentary democracy, just spreading functions between president and parliament. The American president, or to be president, a candidate from a major party, must reject unequivocally a dictatorship. And the way he presented his opinion on Putin is, it's not praising Putin as a strong leader, because dictator is a strong man, is a strong leader by definition. Yeah. So it sounds like praising the methods of destroying democracy, jailing political activists, destroying free media, invading neighboring countries, ignoring and violating international law. Unfortunately, Donald Trump's record, just offers no confidence that if he's elected, he will find the right language and so the right mechanism of opposing Putin's aggression.
So when he says it all, it sounds bad. But you don't for a minute, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'll ask it this way, you don't for a minute think that he would then embrace everything you just described that Putin does?
No, I think American democracy is strong enough to survive even Donald Trump as a president. But right now we're talking about foreign policy. And again, there are many other statements from Donald Trump that made me feel very uncomfortable. For instance, the way he dealt with Crimea, or he said he would deal with Crimea. The way he presents it, it seems to me that for him, Crimea and an annexation of Crimea is just a hostile takeover of a lucrative piece of real estate. The way he wants to cooperate with Putin in Syria. By the way, following the wrong Obama's footsteps. So I don't hear a strong language typical for a Republican presidential nominee.
Well, there's nothing typical about him.
Exactly. And it's definitely okay. There's nothing typical about politics this year.
But you bring up a good point. Obama, who said famously, tell Vladimir that after this election I could do more for him. Obama, who stood by and watched Crimea go down. Obama, who has not led in Syria. Obama, who's not led anywhere. The media, nobody talks about where he's gotten us.
Look, I don't know what the media, but you can hardly blame me for not criticizing Obama. I have a record, for years harshly criticizing President Obama, Secretary Clinton.
Right.
I think the foreign policy imposed by Obama was a disaster.
Right.
The world is not, it was not a safe place in 2008, but it's much less safe today. Than when George W. left the office. And we need to restore American leadership, and we need just to look for the right moves to be made on this geopolitical board. And neither candidate.
But is Hillary? So is Hillary that answer in your mind?
Unfortunately, we're here to choose for a lesser evil. So my 9-year-old daughter, just following this debate, she said Hillary is a bomb. Unfortunately, Donald is a nuke. So it's again, it's not just one statement. It's not what he said at the recent debates, but it's an image, and also backed by the philosophy of making a deal. So I don't see Trump as somebody who will stand his ground as a leader of the free world, defending the values the way Harry Truman or Ronald Reagan did.
Okay, so your daughter's assessment, she's saying. I don't know if she was saying Hillary's the better of the two choices, but you are. You take the bum over the nuke, N-U-K-E, you take the bum over the nuke?
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this is. I think it's. By the way, for me, the most important result of these elections, even before it's the end of this, is that both parties must be disqualified for offering us such a horrible choice.
Okay, but you sir, are savvy, and you, I mean, you know the value of national security. You know how easily they hacked probably Hillary, and Iran hacked Hillary, and China hacked Hillary, and how cavalier she was, and how she's lied about the servers and this, and covered up and destroyed emails. Is she going to be beneficial to national security?
She's, in my view, she's the second worst presidential candidate in the history of this country.
Next to...
but she's lucky. She's running against Donald Trump. Just don't make me feel bad by defending Hillary and her record. Yeah, and it's, I really feel bad that, having so many candidates, the GOP ended up with only one that that looks worse than Hillary in this respect.
All right, let me ask you this. Dick Morris was on me yesterday, and he had a theory that Vladimir Putin is looking for revenge against Hillary because of the way that. But let me just finish for those who don't know the way because Donald Trump because Bill Clinton in 1996, I think, was on the phone every day with Yeltsin, basically telling him how to campaign, what to do, trying to run his campaign, and of course, Putin was a supporter of the opponent of Yeltsin. Do you see any credence to that?
First of all, it's not correct. Putin was working for Mayor Sobchak in St. Petersburg, and Putin, of course, was on Yeltsin's side. And it's not surprisingly that Yeltsin appointed him as his successor. Yeah. Putin doesn't look, back to 96 or even 2006. Putin wants to survive. It's a classical dictator, so it's probably the last stage of his brutal rule.
So does he want though Trump?
Yes, and it's absolutely clear.
Why?
Because Putin's goal is to undermine NATO, to destroy European Union. He needs chaos. He needs someone who will help him to create this instability, and he sees Trump as a perfect partner for that. Again, Hillary is not perfect, and again, her record is lousy. But unfortunately, all I could see, and by following for instance, my Facebook, and I have them both in English, much bigger and smaller in Russian, I could see the same trolls, attacking me, in Russian and in English, and supporting Donald Trump. Russian television is behind him. Russia Today. It's a Putin propaganda arm, a foreign arm, is supporting
What
Trump.
do you think of what happened yesterday? I mean, again, not you, but I want to make that clear. I wasn't talking about you before, but the media, and I know you have nothing to do with them, but the media is all over Trump today because he went with Larry King yesterday. And apparently Larry King's show was broadcast on RT, Russian TV. And Trump's people say, we thought it was a Larry King podcast. We didn't know it was going to be on Russian TV. Is there something wrong with going on Russian TV as a presidential candidate? In your view?
In this case, yes, because we have many other things. It's like, it's consequential evidence, and it builds the case that Trump is not just saying nice things about Putin, and Putin saying nice things about Trump, which is by the highly unusual, but you could see so many different Russian connections, starting with Paul Manafort, and still, even after his resignation, you have several people in Trump campaign that are senior positions that are connected to Gazprom and other Russian lobbying groups.
Okay, and again, I know you haven't praised Hillary's record, and I know you've answered this, so I know I'm not going to change your mind, but Hillary pushed the reset button. Hillary, Russian policy and Obama's Russian policy, of which she was a part of, is a total disaster. But you think Trump will be even worse? Is that what you're saying?
This is the choices now. Let's be gastronomical. You can have your least favorite food in the next 4 years, or you can try a fresh drink. It's a 50-50 chance. It has a deadly poison in it.
Well, I don't want to go there. All right, let me ask you real quick. This Iran deal that we're finding more and more about, and again, this is our media here. You talk about Russian media, but controlled by the state. But it seems like ours is controlled by the Democrats. Obama now, it turns out, not just 1.7 million, but maybe $40 billion in payments to the biggest supporter and financer of terror around the world. Nobody says anything. All they care about is that Trump says, I like Putin. Not that Obama has given the Ayatollah billions, but Trump says, I like Putin. Now, that's warped.
It's just every time Kerry makes another concessions to Iranians, I recommend him on my Twitter or on my Facebook, read State Department terrorist list. Iran is still number one. Every day you can check it, it's still number one. No, Iranian deal is a disaster. Obama's foreign policy, especially in the Middle East, is total disaster. And unfortunately now, by Obama's retreat, created vacuum.
Yes.
And Putin and other thugs, they fill this vacuum. And now we could see, the effect of the Middle East crisis in Europe.
What about very quickly, Palestinian-Israeli talks facilitated by Russia? That's on the horizon.
Again, America walked away. Putin comes in. This is classical dictator strategy, and unfortunately, there are too many entries for Putin. And again, I hope the next 4 years it will be not as bad as we expect.
Every time you come back to New York, come on here.
Thank you.
I love having you. Thank you very much, Garry Kasparov, ladies and gentlemen, a great man. And check out the book "Winter is Coming" because it paints a dark picture, but a true picture. Give Me 5 is next. Do not touch that dial. We're coming back.